Hello, you peeps. This is Edo here for another Let's Play of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Here with me is Nightshade.
Well, hello.
Well, we last left off getting kicked out of Gant's office because it seems like he doesn't want us to be snooping around. But now
I don't know what you're talking about.
But now we gotta find a way to get back in there. So we need to go. I think here. I think we need to go back here.
February 24, Police Department, Criminal Affairs.
Oh!
Hey, pals!
It's Gumshoe! Detective Gumshoe, were you in the meeting?
I was, just taking a breather. My feet hurt.
From sitting so long in the meeting?
Actually, I had to serve everyone coffee.
Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop. Poor Gumshoe.
Say, have either of you seen Mr. Hedgeworth?
Edgeworth? No. Why do you ask?
He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battle's between you two in court.
That sounds serious. Is it because of what my sister said?
That's basically what it all boils down to. That falsified evidence 2 years ago? Now Mr. Hedgeworth has the whole world after his blood. That delicious blood.
Yikes. No. But why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Skye is the guilty party here, isn't she? Yeah. Way to add more salt to the wound, Phoenix.
Regardless, the prosecutor is responsible for the evidence he presents in court. Not only that, but as you know, there's been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Hedgeworth. Those who don't like him haven't been able to do anything because of his amazing talent as a prosecutor. But now with this...
Are there really so many people who hate him?
In our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Hedgeworth not only had that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know for making enemies.
Hey Dick, keep up the good work!
Yes, sir!
Let's go out for lunch again sometime, my treat!
Yes, sir! You gotta take me back to that joint sometime, okay, Dick? Yes, sir!
Seems you don't have any problem with enemies.
Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out.
He says not careful to stick out, but I feel like he sticks out like a sore thumb, for sure.
Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Hedgeworth just might crack. Actually, I took a look at the file earlier, while the coffee was brewing.
He seems generally concerned for Edgeworth. Well, did you find out anything?
The only evidence Dark left behind was during his final attack.
His final attack? You mean...
When he killed Prosecutor Marshall who was trying to protect some girl.
Me. It seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl.
That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all.
Well, what was it?
Oh, let's see. I think it had something to do with the murder weapon. Oh, I forget. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay?
His powers of recollection never fail to impress. Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. It might jog his memory. Should I?
I mean, we're gonna have to do it either way. So
oh, okay. How do I...
Your preference of order, I guess.
Crazy at the knife. Not that one. That's Edgeworth's knife.
Not that.
About this.
Hey, don't tell me that's...
It has a tag attached to it with the label SL9 incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of.
What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in a locker.
On the day Detective Goodman was murdered, it suddenly disappeared from the locker. It was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler.
That's it! Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me.
Well, what is it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again. And forget you shall. I guess we'll do the murder weapon then. This knife, it was Joe Dark's, wasn't it?
That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it at, and it had his fingerprints on it too.
But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right?
That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken.
You don't have to take a good look to notice that.
Yeah, well, anyway. Take a guess where the broken off tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in.
Where was it?
The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. It was found deep inside a stab wound.
Did it match Dark's knife?
You bet! Down to the last fiber.
That's pretty conclusive. Ooh.
Joe Dark was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman.
A businessman? What made him take to serial killing?
One day on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car.
With his car? So it was an accident?
An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal.
An animal?
He killed a man that witnessed the accident. Then he killed a lady who saw the second one. A kid walked by just then, so we killed him too. Then, whoa, that Joker came upon the scene and was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself in.
Seems he was a pretty careless animal.
Of course, this is all conjectures. There wasn't a single shred of evidence.
Ooh. So he turned himself in?
Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim. Prosecutor Marshall. That crime was witnessed by someone too, but fortunately, he was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed.
That last witness. He must mean Emma.
Well, there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know.
Can I ask you one more thing?
What is it? If it's money you need, you shall ask Chief Gant.
It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. The chief's out now, and his office is locked. But we'd like to have a look around, if that's okay.
Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door.
What? Really?
But if I let a civilian in there, I'll be charged with breach of trust.
Breach of trust?
Simply put, I'll be Ken.
Oh.
Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you.
How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman's.
That won't work either. The data was deleted the day he died.
Oh. So in other words, Gumshoe is our only chance of getting into that office. Well, we gotta murder Gumshoe. That's just what it's...
Didn't you heard what I said? The moment he died, the card becomes invalid. That's how science works.
They don't gotta know that he's dead.
I don't think you heard me fine. The moment he dies, the card knows.
The card's alive. What is this? What is this? Kill with the uniform? I wonder if there's something we could show him that would make him change his mind. Can I show him something that would change his mind?
Nope.
Fudge. So then we gotta go somewhere else. But maybe we have to find something. But where do we go? I mean, this is the only other place I haven't gone to, so might as well. Yep, now I was right.
February 24, prosecutor's office, underground parking lot.
No one's here today. Not even Miss Starr. Everyone's probably busy looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are. But we proved in court today that no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime.
Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case.
But instead it looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty.
Hang in there, Lana.
I've got to find all the answers by tomorrow. I have to move, huh? Oh!
February 24, High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202.
I wonder if Edward is back yet.
There he is. It looks like he's writing something.
Huh? What are you doing here? He sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor. Tough day in court, huh? I had to live the past 2 years with rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me?
Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you.
That's Edward for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings. So, what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day.
We get to talk to Edgy Poo. Edgy Poo.
There's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I can do can erase that fact. But you didn't know, did you? I mean, that the evidence was falsified. The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error, my responsibility as the prosecutor in charge. That fact remains the same no matter what excuses I might have.
Mr. Edgeworth.
I take pride in my work. So tell me why. Why has it all come to this? Even Edward can't keep this kind of emotion bottled up. Are you up for the trial tomorrow? First last year's trial, and now this one. It seems all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves.
But Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial.
Tomorrow's the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this. What do you mean? The list of evidence, it seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. It's only half as long as most lists? That is odd. After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but at the time there was only one thing on my mind. I'd use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty.
Say, we just saw a picture taken around that time.
That picture? Something seems strange about it. Could you tell us again about what happened that day? The day Detective Goodman was murdered. You were participating in a ceremony over at the station, right? I'd never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one.
Because you were awarded this?
Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony.
That's still funny.
I finished up at the office in the morning, then drove over to the police department. You finished up at the office? Yes, just odds and ends, clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is, until I was asked to take something back.
Take something back?
This. Oh.
Oh yeah, Chief Gant asked you to hold on to that, didn't he?
Yes, it was a piece of evidence in a case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office. That's the story we heard yesterday. So you came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to? That's right. I think I need to show him stuff. What is it though? No. Oh, the picky. This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gant's office. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy.
Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me.
Yes.
The trophy Mr. Marshall is holding. It's a little different than yours.
Yes, you're right. I remember now. Remember what? That was the official prosecutor trophy used until that time. There's a story behind it.
A story?
Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us? It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the reward's based on. What? Oh. This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. The first means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard this story? Me? Oh, sure, everyone knows that. Why don't you tell it, though? For Emma's sake.
Really?
a.k.a. do not know. Very well. Ooh. Long ago in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd he claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon. Wait a minute. Those claims contradict each other! Way to jump in on that, Phoenix. Very presumptive, but then again, you've heard this story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very descriptions of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless, and thus the Chinese word for contradiction was born.
Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and broken knife symbolize...
Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. Huh. Interesting. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words, but it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion, even if it results in something as ugly as this.
Wow, thanks, Mr. Edward. I learned something new today.
That's funny. If that's so, then why were you only given a shield? You'll have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished. Chief Gant. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What can we do now?
There is a little thing that you seem to have missed out.
Oh, the paper that's on the floor. He threw something. I wonder what he was writing before.
Come on, Mr. Wright. Let's take a look.
Are you crazy? Edward is sitting right there.
Just distract him. I'll check it out.
Hey, Edward. Is that Detective Gumshoe out the window there? Oh no, he's falling to the ground. Hold on. First, let me see what this girl's doing crawling around my feet. He didn't even look. Wah, wah, wah.
What? Letter of...
If you can't read, I'll read it for you. It says letter of resignation. What? Resignation? Edward, you don't mean... I'm tired, Mr. Wright. I feel as if something inside me has died.
But Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault.
I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I've walked hasn't been a just one. I can't forgive myself for what I've done, and no one else should forgive me either. Uh-oh, I think he's serious.
Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something.
This letter of resignation, I wonder if I can use it for anything. Is that it? I can't...
I think that's... Yeah.
Okay. Oh, not present. Move. But where do we go? Oh, we can only go here. Oh!
February 24, Prosecutor's Office, Underground Parking Lot.
Excuse me? Oh, it's her. Oh. Man, I'm playing everyone today.
Would either of you care for a quarter pound of roast beef?
Miss Star! Guess she's out of lunches.
You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who sucked a cow's nipple to discover milk.
Ew.
Still, I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago.
Everyone in this trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day the evidence from that case was due for transferal. This can't all be attributed to mere coincidence.
Aren't you forgetting something? You know, that little scene I happened to witness?
The instant Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife.
No matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw.
Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten. Miss Star's hatred toward Lana, it all dates back to 2 years ago. Now I gotta talk to you. Joe Dark. That's a name I'll not soon forget. We trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pressure.
Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Poor old Jake Marshall, though, must have been going through hell.
You mean because of his brother's death?
They were close, those two.
After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate. Her? Lana Skye.
My sister. The best of the best were put on that SL9 case. Of course they were led by that legendary duo. Lana and Chief Gant.
Oh, I guess we'll do this one first.
That legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. And that's why we're so shocked over how it turned out.
You mean with the forging of the evidence? Don't get me wrong, Joe Dark got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious the evidence produced in court was being manipulated.
Items our team never found would suddenly appear, while other items were kept secret. But you didn't have proof anything illegal was done.
I'm proof enough.
Of what happened?
After that case, all of us save Goodman were relieved of our duties, most without even so much as an explanation. Then Lana Skye transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor.
Lana always wanted to be a prosecutor. Nothing's quite as simple as it appears.
Huh?
Lana Skye was merely being used
As a pawn. That's my take on the matter. She was being used. Let's talk about this first.
Damon Gant and Lana Skye. 2 years ago, Gant was chief detective and Lana second in command. They were the best. They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they? Damon Gant's magnetism in particular was almost unreal.
His magnetism? By that, I mean his ability to attract evidence. He produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled. Incredible evidence? You mean?
Oh yes, there were rumors about him even back then. No one dared confront him, though.
I take it she's talking about forged evidence.
Back then, everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her.
Really? Oh yes, myself included. I was a fool, really.
She hated anything crooked and always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake.
Mr. Marshall.
When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would ever have recovered from his shock.
And that's what makes it all the more infuriating.
Miss Starr.
That's why I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn so cold after that? Ooh. Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she?
Yes, thanks to Chief Gant's powerful influence. Chief? That's right. Having solved the SL9 case, his position as chief was secure. There was only one thing left for him to control, and then no one could stand in his way. The prosecutor's office.
What? You mean that's why Lana was transferred?
If he could control the chief prosecutor, he could control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along. But how could he control Lana?
I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude.
There must have been a reason for her change.
At last, I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, Miss Star.
You listen to me, Ricky. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've been.
I guess we go? Well, it wouldn't make sense to go back here. We just got there. No, not there. Maybe back here? Oh!
February 24, Police Department, Criminal Affairs.
Oh, welcome back, Nightshade.
Yeah, I've been... Oh, you're back! Yes, I've been back.
You're still here?
I gotta make 150 copies of these files. One for each Pokemon in Gen 1 before you showed up. Brewing coffee, copying files. I'm turning into a regular DJ.
You're a DJ as well? If I'm not mistaken, I think he means desk jockey.
Oh, that DJ.
I got admired persistency, but my answer's still no. I'm not letting you into Chief's office, period. It'll be my neck on the line.
Office is the last crime scene in the SL9 incident. I have to take a look in there.
There's got to be something we can do to make the detective change his mind.
Yes, we do. Yes.
There's
No,
so
I
many
passed
evidence
it.
on that
It's my
goddamn
badge.
case.
My badge is on the line. I matter too, you know.
Oh boy. What's this crumpled up piece of paper? No way! Mr. Hedgeworth can't be serious!
Is he ever not serious?
I can't believe they pushed him this far.
Mr. Edward really feels responsible.
At first I thought he was cold as ice. Cold as ice! But now I know different. He trusted us, detective, to provide him with sound evidence. But we betrayed him.
Detective.
Oh. That's it. I made up my mind.
But...
Here, take my ID card.
We can't do that. If someone found out...
They wouldn't let you off the hook with another lost item report.
Look at me. It's no secret I'm already out of the loop.
Aww.
After all, I'm friends with Mr. Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, I may already be as good as terminated.
What?
So, at least let me do this. For Mr. Edgeworth's sake.
Furniture.
For Mitcher.
Furniture.
Mitcher!
All right, detective. Thank you.
Yay!
And I think this is where we'll stop. In the next episode, we get to go into the chief's office. What are we gonna find? Ooh, ooh.
We're in the end game now.
I hope we freaking find something, because I'm getting sick of this, like, kind of like pronoun game crap going on here. They did this. This happened because of that. Blah, blah, blah. Pointy fingers everywhere. I need this cleared up. In the next episode, hopefully we will get that answer. So this was Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney with me and Nightshade.
Copy number 133. Copy number 134.
And,
135.
and with that, we are out of here.